we're going to talk about schedule and class tips. Note when you're going to the cafeteria what your cafeteria has. Usually you just scan or swipe and you have access to whatever you want. Usually. Sometimes it's different to where you can like scan and you get a meal or whatever. But see what you get out of that swipe, because if you can get free bananas, free apples, free cereal, take advantage of that and bring it back to your dorm so that you have snacks for later. A, for saving money, and B, for just like having snacks because you're going to get hungry all the time and you don't want to have to buy other little snacks around campus that cost money, or even worse, go off campus to get more food because you didn't get enough at the dining common. So if your cafeteria has like a salad bar, take advantage of the salad bar. If you don't like salads, learn to like salads, because salad is something most of the time you can rely on all the time. Usually they'll have pizza, but if you're eating pizza every day of the week, I don't think we need to go there. So you can have pizza, just have it like once or twice a week, but have salads a lot when you can. A, hydration, B, it's just like veggies, you know, good stuff, and it's healthy. It's gonna help counterbalance some of the other stuff that you're eating. Give your dining common a chance and don't complain about it. If you can help it, don't complain about it. Don't start complaining about it, because then everyone's gonna be complaining about it. Just, you know, schedule and class tips. Make sure that you know what your schedule is and that you've put that into your calendar. Where the class is, what time it is, and you don't have to know the professor. Schedule your class schedule into your calendar. Whatever calendar you have, Google Calendar, iCal, whatever it is, schedule it in and have it recurring so that you know every single week. If I schedule nothing into my calendar, at least I will get reminded about my class schedule with 15-minute reminders before the class would start, so that I would already have like a wake up time and be getting ready, and then 15 minutes before class I knew I had 5 minutes before I should leave, so I have 10 minutes to walk to class. And once your first week of classes goes in, you can start a timer, walk to class, stop your timer and see, you know, that took me under 10 minutes to get there, or like under 5, you know, so that you know what time you're looking at, so that you're not leaving way too early for class or way too late. I would honestly try to get to your classes 5 to 7 minutes early, because your professors are going to be impressed, especially during your first few weeks of classes. They're going to be like, you know, you're a good student, you're getting to class early. I got to class like 10 minutes early my first few weeks. And then I was like, you know, it's just kind of awkward. So then I only got to class like 5 minutes. And then it got to the next semester and I would get there like 2 minutes ahead of time or 1 minute before and feel very stressed. So just try to get there 5 to 10 minutes early, especially in your first few weeks. Get there extra early so you can make friends. You can get your spot wherever you want to sit. Some classes will have seat assignments. But most classes don't have seat assignments until like the second or third week of classes. If you get to class early, you can get whatever seat you want, sitting next to whoever you want on the first or second week of class. Some colleges are different. Your syllabi, you're going to be given a syllabi. It's going to be very overwhelming. Most likely, it's going to be a page that you feel like you don't know how to read. But basically, imagine a spreadsheet with like 3 to 4 columns, and all of them filled with text, and then some bolded and like page numbers and abbreviations all over the page. That's basically what a syllabi is. Sometimes they have it only online, but most of the time they'll also have it printed out. I would recommend, if you're gonna have a printed syllabi and like follow that off and scratch it off, print 2 so that you have an extra one. I would hang one up on your wall or like on your closet with some tape, and then I would keep the other one in a folder in your backpack at all times. And that's so that you can always know when your assignments are due and like when you need to do stuff. And then also, worst case scenario, you can look on your one in your dorm if, you know, you don't want to have to dig through your bag just to get to your syllabi. Your syllabi does change sometimes, so it'll be easiest to note those changes either on a digital form or on the printout that they gave you. You can like write a note in, versus if you're like recopying it all into your like paper planner that you're flipping through every day, then if they change something, you might miss that change and miss an assignment or get late points or something like that because you didn't do your assignment on time. I use Notion. I'd be happy to make a video of how to use Notion for college. Super simple with like a template that you guys can copy and paste and just put your information in. Leave a comment below if you want to see that video, because I'd be happy to make that for you guys. But yeah, I use Notion and I have all the syllabi in there under their course, and then it's added into one database that pops up for the week, and I know exactly what I have to do that week. But with your syllabi, you're not going to know exactly how to read it. Your professor will explain that, so make sure you're listening in class, especially during your first week of classes. I've talked a lot about syllabi, so let's move off of syllabi now. Make sure you are scheduling your priorities. What does this mean? What are your priorities is the bigger question. Pick about 5 to 7 priorities, write them down. What really matters to you? Does your hobby that you started this summer really matter? Or does doing your best in school really matter? It doesn't mean you can't have any time for your hobbies, just put hobbies as like the last thing. And that just encourages you to be more diligent in your study time so that you can get to your studying, get your assignments done, and move on, and then you can reward yourself with that hobby that you love. So just be wise and be diligent about your work. So schedule your priorities into your calendar. I would recommend time blocking. You don't have to worry about doing that during welcome week because welcome week will have its own schedule out for you. But after that, your schedule is mostly yours besides your class schedule. So number 1, class schedule. Number 2 is food. So if you eat breakfast every day, make sure you get breakfast. It doesn't always have to be before your first class. It can be right after your first class if you have time. But make sure you're scheduling in that meal. And then same for lunch. Think about when is my chapel or when is my midday class? Do I need to eat lunch before that or do I need to eat lunch after? And if I just had breakfast after my first class and I can't eat again before chapel or before my midday class, just pack a snack or something like that. And then plan to eat lunch after that midday class or chapel. Your dining common and your cafeterias probably have hours. Sometimes they're open all day, but they only have some food during certain hours. So just kind of note that and schedule your schedule with your class schedule with those dining common hours to make sure you're actually getting those meals in. Thirdly, schedule in your sleep. I know this is gonna seem like, yeah, sleep's gonna happen, but try to set a bedtime every night and calculate till you have to wake up to get ready in time for the next class. I would recommend leaving an hour from waking up to your first class. Later in the semester, you don't have to wake up with that much time, especially if you have a quick get ready thing, so that you can get ready leisurely, make sure your bag is packed, and have plenty of time to walk to class. It's okay to change your schedule, but put in a template of time blocking of your priorities so that if all else fails, then you can at least get those priorities done or know what to expect. If you have your classes in there only and everything else is empty, you're like, what do I do? Number 4, I would recommend a personal goal or thing that you love. So that could be exercise, that could be calling home, morning devotions. Make sure you get that in every day. It doesn't have to be in the morning necessarily, but if your thing is morning devotions, then make time for that. And don't eat into your sleep to make time for those things. So adjust your sleep schedule. You don't have to follow your schedule perfectly, so just keep that in mind. 5th, I would schedule in your study time, but you're not really gonna know how long it takes you to study. You're probably just gonna have an empty space on your calendar and then you'll study and just take your time and then kind of see how long that takes you to study. Just put a template out there and then you can follow that and adjust it as you need. Additionally, set boundaries to protect your priorities and the things that you need done so that you know what to say when someone's like, hey, you want to hang out this evening? And you'd be like, I need my sleep for tomorrow because I have a test next week. Or, hey, that'd be fun. Can we reschedule for an earlier time or something else because I need to get my sleep in? Or you can just say like, I have plans already. You don't even have to say you have to sleep. For like special events that are like one-time only things, just consider like, can you make that sleep back later or just you really need your sleep? And just weigh and figure out the best option.